Hi, this is Nancy Joy, and this is Weekly Reflections. Another big day coming up this week. This Wednesday is 11/11. It's 2015's 11/11. And that's always a powerful portal day, a gateway day. We're going to talk a little bit about it. It's especially powerful because it falls on the new moon, and this new moon is in Scorpio. So this gateway, following the September 27th blood moon and ascension and all that's been going on, is a very, very powerful gateway to fall at this time. I'm going to read you this quote by Diana Cota Robles. She says, "The recalibration of human DNA has been instrumental in preparing each and every person on Earth for the influx of light we will receive on November 11th, 2015. 11/11. 11 is the master number that reflects the transformation from the physical into the divine. And as you know now, the ascension is really about bringing the divine into the physical. So now we have a power portal opening. I've always loved the master number 11 because it's about leaving the old and outmoded, going through the gateway into the new. And there's always such an energy going through that gateway. If you've been following my posts, you sure know about all our adversity here on the land at El Shaddai. By the way, this address is a number 11. So and this is the 11th year of all the shenanigans and difficulty and conflict that's been going on this land. So I've included two great articles on this particular 11/11. One is, I included the link above of Diane Cota Robles, of course, and the other is by Shanta Gabriel, and it's a message from Archangel Gabriel. So you can look either of those two up. Lots of good information on really what this portal is all about. But it is an upliftment. It is a huge surge of energy. And just think about what it means to be at a gateway. Say you've been looking forward to this big concert and you're finally going, and you have to wait in this long line, and there's hundreds of people, and you're waiting to get in. You're waiting for the gate to open so you can participate in the event. Then when it opens, there's that excitement in the seats and the dimming of the light and the event, right? And there's a tremendous amount of energy there. It's like the runners at the Olympics. They all line up at those gates, and they fire the gun, and burst of energy. They are through the gates and soaring. Horses at a racetrack, that's a perfect example. Clang, clang, the gates are set. All the tension, they're waiting, and then poof, gates are open, they're off and running. You could call it flying. Well, that's the energy of a gateway. So you can imagine we've all somewhat felt like we've been waiting behind the gate here for the shift, for whatever, for something to break free. Really what's breaking free, of course, is ourselves. But it is nevertheless the tremendous energy of this gateway coming at this time. It's very important. And interestingly enough, we have, right, Wednesday's the 11/11. On Friday the 13th, November 13th, this coming Friday, always to me is a super powerful day because 13 is the number of Christ. Really, you have the 12 disciples, the 12 months, all the 12 things, and then you have the master. 13. It's the master. So Friday the 13th is a very lucky day, probably why they want you to think it isn't. So I'm excited because we're having a hearing on this conflict on those dates. So the next part of this is I walk in my woods frequently. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's a high ridge, densely forested between two, one sort of a little river and the other is a creek. And it's just beautiful, especially now most of the leaves are off the trees and you get such a spectacular view from up there. And last week when I was up there, I was spoken to so clearly. The tree beings, the rocks, the water diva, Gaia, and the Devic realms of the fairies and the elves. Such a pleading with me to please help them release the dark energy of pain and separation that exists on this land energetically, and that, of course, we've been participating in. And so you know what they say, 11 years of adversity, the bigger the adversity, the bigger the miracle. And I'm really feeling, this isn't the end date, court date, that's in May, but this is a hearing that will stop the intense, painful clashing that never ceases. And so the trees especially, we're really asking for help. So I'm having a gathering to use this very powerful energy of the gateway, and I called together some people in Iowa and people that want to connect. Hopefully you might too, or at least connect for yourself in this gateway. Both those links I told you about have very beautiful meditations to guide you through, and we'll be gathering with a group here in the woods. And how I see it is that instead of making a circle in the woods, we'll each go through the gateway. Happens to enter our woods, there are trees on both sides of a very narrow path. It is definitely an entrance and a gateway. And then have everyone disperse around the woods, which also happen to surround the house of our neighbors that are in such pain and such darkness. And so individually to work with the land, with the energy, with the frequency, with using the energy of this gateway to pick up, as Ezekiel puts it, pick up your Archangel Michael's sword, Arthur's Excalibur, the lion goddess Sekhmet who devoured the earth to save her child. Well, who's her child? It's us. It's the earth. It's humanity. And so it's a very powerful time. And if you want to really look at where in your life right now, we're all tired of being at the gate waiting for the portal to open, right? For some of us, it's like since 2012. For others, since the September 27th blood moon ascension date. I haven't been disappointed by any of them because I've been feeling this energy shifting and changing everything. But now comes the push through the gateway. So look in your life. Look where you've been waiting at the gate and align yourself, your DNA, your very heart, and your frequency to this portal as it ignites the pillars and the energy pushes you through the 1111 gateway. There's momentum here. The song that comes to mind for me is the Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. I'm sure you've had enough of my singing, but you get the point. There is quite a beautiful energy. So really look at where you're going to go with it this week. Participate in whatever way you choose on Wednesday. Lots of opportunities. If you think of it, please tune us in on us here at El Shaddai and help this situation out. And thank you ever so much. Catch the magic of the 1111 gateway, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.